Alright, you're gonna have to excuse my voice because I am kind of sick right now, but I will say this video is going to be kind of exciting. It is going to be kind of scary, kind of depressing, but like pretty funny overall. This is the story of the absolute worst day of my life, and I do not exaggerate in the slightest.
You suck at telling stories.
Asshole. Cut!
All I ever do is sit around making YouTube videos talking about my past. I don't think I could ever go to Vimeo because I don't think that the platform will last. I hope the YouTube gets better one day. I hope for all of our sakes. I hope that we all can get paid, except for the babes.
Okay, so figuring where to start off with this is going to be the tricky part. So if you watch my last video about the 2005 attempted suicide, 2005 was also the year that I finally got sober and decided to change my life. I've been sober ever since, but you know, my first sober birthday in years was in 2005. You know, I started, you know, in 2005 I was 27, I think. Yeah, I was 27, and I had been, you know, drinking heavily and doing excessive amounts of drugs since, you know, I was like 11 or 12. So you know, that was a pretty substantial thing for me to, you know, experience a birthday sober, which, you know, happened July 30th. I got sober April 17th of 2005. So at the time, I was going to meetings, you know, AA meetings. I had developed somewhat of a social network. I had gotten a sponsor, started working the steps, all that. My cat is totally walking all around the tripod right now. So if you see movement, it's my cat. He just loves attention. But yeah, so I was doing all that, and you know, I made some pretty cool friends. I was gaining a new appreciation for life at that point, and I'd gotten a job working third shift at a gas station. Yeah, that's brilliant, right, Damien? Get a job at a gas station when you first get sober. Third shift, no less. That in itself was a nightmare. I'm leaving names out of this story just for the sake of telling the story. Get away from the tripod. Right, so the manager of this place was actually kind of cool. At first, he was kind of intimidating, and I was a little bit scared of him. But, you know, I talked to him a little bit about my situation, and it turned out, you know, he had been down the same road. He had been through, you know, alcoholism and addiction, and had gone to meetings, and so he understood, and he was really cool about that once we had that understanding of each other, and I appreciated that. So, you know, come July, you know, or, you know, before July, I told him, you know, my birthday was coming up. This was probably in, you know, near the end of May that I told him this, and I was like, look, I want to go ahead and ask off way in advance because I want to make sure there's no issues, but I was like, I am going to need this night off because it is my first sober birthday in, you know, almost 2 decades, and I would like to spend it with my network and not here, because I feel that's not, being here would be bad. Like, I want to be amongst my friends, my sober friends. And he totally understood that, was 100% okay with it, gave me the night off. Great. Well, so he goes out of town that week, which leaves the assistant manager as acting manager. Now, mind you, I don't know why, but from day one, Mr. Assistant Manager fucking hated me. Like, I don't know what I possibly could have said or done. I think it was just the fact that I was sober, because he liked to drink a lot. So I'm assuming that probably played the self-reflection or something. I don't know. But he was an asshole to me every chance he got. So with the manager being out of town, he decided he was going to have friends come in from out of town, and they were going to have like some kind of drinking fest or something, and made it a blatant point to make sure I knew that his night was going to revolve around heavy drinking. He mentioned it multiple times and made sure to kind of get in my face literally about it when he told me. So he told me that I was going to have to work, and I'm like, no, look at the calendar. I was like, I've had this requested off for 2 months. I was like, this is my first sober birthday. I was like, I am not working. So he's like, well, you have no choice because I'm not working, so you have to. So I'm already furious. Well, so, I get off work at like 6 o'clock in the morning, or maybe 7, I don't remember. But, or no, it was probably later than that because I didn't go in till like 10 or 11. Yeah, so I guess it was like 7 or 8 that I got off work. Well, so I'm thinking, I got paid that day. I was getting paid that day. I was getting off work. I'm like, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna nap for a couple hours. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go cash this check, and I'm gonna do something nice for myself. Like, I'm gonna go buy myself a fucking Ibanez, a guitar. I hadn't played guitar in like a while. I had taken a break. I'd been heavily into the rave scene and drugs and all that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy a guitar. I'm going to start writing sober music. I'm going to start writing music about my journey. And I was like, this is going to be great. So I do that. I nap. I get up. I go to the bank, cash my check, go to Sam Ash. It's a music store. And I buy myself a black left-handed Ibanez. They happen to have a black left-handed Ibanez, and I could afford it. And I was like, fuck yes, I'm going to buy this shit for myself, and it's going to be great. So then, after that, I decided to go pay a visit to someone near and dear to me. Family, basically. So I go to visit them, and one of them, when I get there, is already really fucked up. Like alcohol, pills, like real fucked up. And I'm already like upset by this. I'm like, fucking great. It's my birthday. You knew I was coming. Like, I'm sober. Why? So while I'm there, I decide, I've got this new guitar, already. I don't have anything else really to do for the rest of the day. My plans weren't until later that night, but now I was scheduled to work, so it's not like that fucking mattered, right? So, I'm upset at the fact I have to work and the fact that, this person is trashed. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to take a nap. I'm just going to sleep here for a few hours, and then I'm going to go to fucking work. Maybe swing by the coffee shop, see some friends on the way, because the coffee shop was next to the Metroline Intergroup office, AA headquarters, and there was a lot of my AA people that hung out at the coffee shop. But so, I'm napping, and this person who is fucked up takes the liberty of taking my car and goes and breaks into somebody's house and like fills my car up with some stranger's shit, And now one of these things, and this is the most mind-boggling part about this whole scenario, it was this stone gargoyle statue that was like this fucking big. It was like cement, some kind of stone. I'm pretty sure it was cement, but it was heavy as fuck. I could barely lift it. And this person is like smaller than me, and I'm sure weaker than me, and like way fucked up. Like how did they get that thing into my car? How did they pick it up from wherever it was and get it into the car? I'm still mind blown by that. But that thing plays a significant role. So I wake up, I'm in a bad mood. This person who's fucked up starts getting kind of weird towards me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna diffuse this situation. I'm gonna leave. I don't know what's going on. So I get out to my car and I'm like, what is all this shit? You know, I mean, my car is filled up. So, you know, I go back in and I'm like, you care to explain this? So there's this story that ensues talking about how, you know, these people had stolen something from this person. You know, it was a crazy story. I didn't believe it. And I'm like, you need to go get all that shit out of my fucking car. I've got to go. Like, get the shit out of my car now. But they refused. And started cursing me out and telling me that, like, I was a backstabber and a betrayer and all this shit. And I'm like, I didn't fucking do anything. Like, so I'm furious. So I'm out there and I'm just going to take all the shit out of the car and put it on the fucking front lawn. Like, you know, whatever happens from that point. I'm not fucking involved. So the first thing I try to do is get this cement gargoyle statue out of my car. And now, mind you, less than a year's time previous to this, I'd had a double inguinal hernia operation. Yeah. So I immediately experienced excruciating stabbing pain in my abdomen. I dropped the statue. I'm on my knees, like, hobbled in the front yard, like, almost in tears from the pain. And this person comes out and just starts calling me all the worst things anyone has ever said to me. And I didn't understand where it was coming from or why. And it fucked me up. Like, so I go into the house to, you know, see the other person that's there and try to get them to, you know, back me up and, like, help me out of this situation. And, you know, this other person keeps relentlessly screaming at me, just saying these vile things. And I'm, like, crying, like, what the fuck? And, you know, like, starting to get physical towards me and just some of the things. And finally, like, I snapped. I snapped. It was like, I think that was like a serious, like, bipolar moment where, like, you go into, like, manic rage. I mean, I don't know if that's a thing, but it's when, like, I don't know. I normally don't snap like that to where I want to become physically violent and act on it. But that's what happened. And I swung. Yeah, I swung. And the person, like, fell as I was coming at them. You know, they had stepped backwards, tripped, and fell. And I went fist first into the wall, but I hit a stud and shattered my fucking hand. Now, mind you, it's my birthday. I just experienced all this bullshit. I just bought a guitar that I haven't played in years. You know, I was so excited about this guitar. And now I just shattered my fucking hand. So I drive to the coffee shop. You know, I finished, like, just pushing all the rest of the shit out of the car, just throwing it wherever. You know, I bounce. I head to the coffee shop, and, you know, some of my friends are there, which was cool. You know, I tell them what's going on, and I'm like, well, I guess I should probably go to the ER and see what's up. And they're, like, looking at my hand, and it's all fucked up. They're like, yeah, I don't even know why you came here first. Like, you need to go to the ER now. I'm like, all right, I'm going. So while I am at the ER, my phone is blowing up, and it's this person, who I had just seen previously that said all the awful shit and caused me to fucking. So they're just leaving voicemails, like just awful, like to the point that I just have to turn my phone off. Like, it doesn't matter if anybody else is going to try to call me or not. I can't deal with it. My voicemail box was just slammed full, and it was all just what I like to refer to as pure evil. Now, mind you, I will say this person is in a wonderful place now. I mean, not like passed on, but like life has gotten better. This person has gotten sober and has found a new level of spirituality and is doing quite well and has gone above and beyond making amends for what I was put through. So we are good today. And I love this person still dearly. But, I'm at the hospital and that's going on. And, I finally turn my phone back on. I call, the assistant manager, the acting manager of the store. And I'm like, look, I'm in the fucking ER. They're putting a cast on me right now. Like, my hand is shattered. Like, I can't fucking come to work. He's like, well, you better figure something out because you need to come to work. So I go into work and, I got a fucking cast on and, it's in a sling and I'm like, asshole, yeah, so how am I supposed to fucking work tonight? I can't stock the cooler. I can't mop the fucking floor. I can't do any of the duties aside from just run the register. And I don't even know if I can really do that. So he's just like, whatever, you're going to have to figure it out. So I'm livid. But so first this like couple comes in and they're walking around looking all sketchy and they steal a couple 24 cases of beer, run out the door. I can't fucking do anything about it. So, but that made me mad. This other guy comes in. Now, he's standing up at the counter telling me jokes. He's being cool. He's asking me questions. But something seems off. And I noticed there's a taller gentleman, like, kind of just walking around the store, looking around, and I noticed there's a woman sitting outside in a van, and she's sitting in the driver's seat by herself. And I immediately start kind of panicking. I'm like, okay, this scenario does not seem right. There's no one else in the store except this one guy that's just walking around, this guy at the counter telling me fucking stories, and this woman out in the car. I'm like, fucking hell, I'm about to get robbed.